sun is trying to slide through that cloud up there. It ain't trying, it is. scenarios. get lost in some thought. Some let's open that old pineal, that pineal gland, and see what we can't tap into today. We're gonna open that old pineal gland here in just a moment, see if we can't attach to them, hack into them. Hack into some stuff. That's what the idea is. Hack into some imaginaries, some Akashi records. That's what we're going. That's the idea. Open that pineal gland and tap into them Akashi records today. That's what I enjoy. I mean, this stuff right here. I don't know what they've been putting in this weed, but I'm telling you, them last two strains, this strain, Georgia Pie, and the Oreos yesterday. Holy, I was tapped into some Akashi records. I'm telling you, I done seen some stuff, know some stuff. Yesterday, the Oreos, how I can explain the Oreo strain was, it was just the the thoughts were just, everything was just so smooth. I mean, it was just smooth. That was with the Oreos. I mean, it was just a nice head high. And I mean, I'm telling you, my pineal gland was popping because I was off on some Akashi records. And there was no body high, none of that. It was just a nice, calm, just nice and calm. It was just like a calm day on a lake. I'll use that as an analogy, the lake. I mean, it was just a nice, calm day on the lake with inside my head. I was tapped into some stuff. With the Oreos, I smoked half one day and I smoked the other half the next day, I think it was. But either way, the first day, there was no paranoia. Both days were body highs. I had body highs both days. The first day, there was no paranoia. It was pretty smooth, a little choppy, like on a lake, a little wind, a little chop. But the second day, I mean, my anxiety was high. I don't know if it was my emotions, the things I was tapped into. I don't know what it was, but the paranoia was high, and it wasn't like for the entire journey of that I went down, but for a while, I don't even know the time frame. But I take notes. I journal everything I do when I'm smoking, so if I ever need to look back and be like, oh yeah, because I mean, there's so much wild stuff I get into. It's amazing. It's so freaking amazing. It's like I don't know what I tap into, but it's amazing. It's freaking great. I mean, I already have these ideas anyway. It's just like they get. It's like coloring. It's kind of like coloring. You know, the page is there, you see it, but when you add color to it, that's what this seems to be doing is adding color to my already ideas, and it's like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's a trip. It's cool. It's a cool trip. So we're gonna burn this little unit here in just a minute. This is see what happens. I grinded this in the grinder because I didn't want to sit there and pluck it with my fingers, and it's so dense that you can't get no airflow through it. So what I do is, so what I've done is I'll stick a metal rod through it. I got some real skinny metal rod, and I'll use it as an air hole because if I didn't, there would be zero airflow to this because it's so dense and just like basically powder. So I rolled it with a metal rod in between it, trying to get some airflow to it. Then I pulled that rod out, so we'll see how it smokes. The other day, hell, it was like sucking a milkshake through a coffee straw. Couldn't get diddly, man. I mean, it was some work just to smoke. It wasn't enjoyable. So if the same situation happens, what I'll do is cut this thing in half and see if that don't help. So I don't have to pull the smoke from such a far length. I don't want to do that yet, since that rod was laid in there. Maybe there's an air hole. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out in a minute. But I'll be right back. All right. We are back. Drink, got some candy to suck on in a minute. And we got some Georgia pie right here. Georgia pie equals some wild scenarios, some wild imagination that must come from the Akashi record because it's stuff that it's pretty wild. Which I already have the ideas, like I said a while ago. It's just this colors it in, and I'm telling you, I'm tapping into something. I don't know what it is, but this Georgia pie last 2 times has given me a great body high and some wild scenarios. One day paranoia, the next just a little chop. It was a little choppy. I'll let you know how this acts here in a minute. Here we go. Let's smoke it up. Hopefully, I ain't got to suck on it very hard. If I got to suck on it very hard, we're gonna cut it in half because it's so dense. I grinded it with the coffee grinder instead of just plucking it with my hands. So I've had to roll this joint with a rod through the center of it, and then I pulled the rod out so it can have some air. So we'll see how this operates. Let's see. Let's choose this end I reckon to suck out of it. There we go. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we're going to chop it up. We're gonna break it in half. It is what it is. Hmm. I had that exact same truck, only it wasn't an extended cab. Same year too. Well, 2010 to 2012. You can tell just because of the body style. I gave it to my son-in-law. That's the worst. That's anyway. That's what it is. I've learned when you give stuff to people, they don't appreciate things as much as when you earn it. I've earned everything I've got. I ain't got a lot, but everything I've got, I've earned, and I've appreciated everything I've had. Everything, because I've had a lot from where I should. I mean, I've had more than. I don't even have a high school diploma, and I've had everything I've ever wanted. I could go buy anything I ever wanted at one time, just a couple of few years ago. Hmm. Damn, this joint's so dense. It's hard to smoke. It's not enjoyable. Like sucking a straw, like a damn sucking a milkshake through a coffee straw. Hmm. I got no pipe or nothing I can smoke out of it. I need to go get a pipe. That's sure you can't smoke this. It's just too dense. Ain't no way I'm smoking them other three joints like this. This is not. I have to definitely get a pipe. Smoke it out of a pipe. I won't use that coffee grinder no more to grind this stuff. That's for sure. I thought I done found the cat's meow, the easy way of breaking up some marijuana. No, this makes it too powdery. No airflow can get through there. Pick up some pliers real quick. Ah, this sucker's hot. Pepperoni. Meatball. Gosh, damn. That was a good one. That's smoking good. First half of it was no fun to smoke. I'll never use that coffee grinder to bust up that stuff. I done thought I figured it out. Well, that really kind of sucks. Such good weed. What we go to smoke? Too dense. And I thought putting that rod through there and rolling that joint with that rod in it would create a bigger airflow so the smoke would drag through. But apparently, when I pulled that rod out, it just collapsed on in and there's no airflow through it. I'll go pick me up a pipe. That's some good weed, and I don't want to waste it. Ooh, I think I just caught it. Instead of going to spend $12 on a pipe, I could do something different. what I'll do on the. I got three fat joints left of that Georgia pie, and I don't want to waste it. I think I just know what I can do. Sprinkle a little bit on each new joint. I've already got all my Oreos rolled up. That thing made 9 joints because it's not as dense and they're pretty juicy. I got one in there pretty fast. I mean, he not quite as fast as my pinky, but he's getting pretty close in there. The rest of them they're healthy joints. These little Georgia pies are so skinny because that wheat was so dense. Oh well. I'm gonna smoke that other half of this one. It's very smooth too. This Georgia pie is very smooth. It's not harsh on my throat. Same way with that Oreos. It's pretty good. It's a good hit. Good flavors too. This one's kind of mm, earthy, I would say. I suppose. I guess. I mean, that's what they say, earthy. And I mean, it's the only thing I can consider. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is earthy. Well, I'm sure most all of us had a little dirt in our mouths, from time to time. I mean, not that it tastes like dirt. I'm just saying earth. Dirt, earth. This side's drawing pretty damn good, like I anticipated. With that rod, sticking that rod inside of there, since them grounds are so fine, I mean, it's almost like powder, basically. The coffee grinder destroyed that marijuana fast. I mean, I just like beep, beep, 3 little pops on it. That shit was powder. So I stuck that rod in there to try to, because being powder when you light, there's just no airflow whatsoever. I mean, there's zilch. And so I took that little rod, metal rod, and stuck it right in that joint, filled that weed up in there, got that joint rolled, and then I pulled that rod out, hoping that it would create a little hole, a little passageway, so that the air could draw through it and smoke. But I think what's happened is, as soon as I pulled that rod out, the marijuana just resealed because it's so fine. So it probably just resealed the hole. But this one's smoking good. I need to shut up and quit letting it burn and burn it in my lungs. Put that smoke in my lungs instead of blowing smoke out my damn. Yeah, this side smoking just as I anticipated. Like the hole did not get closed up on this end because this drawing good. Oh man, I'm blasted. I should save that for a little later, but hell, yeah, I'm gonna save it. I'm blasted. There certainly is not much left, but there might be enough to. I mean, this one's drawing good. That's a good little joint. Being powdered, basically powdered. Holy Toledo, man, I am blitzed. This is that Georgia pie strain, Georgia pie. My body's, I'm already feeling my body tingling. I got a very nice, cool, calm head high. Excellent focus. We're about to get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Yeah, I'm blasting. I mean, I am good. Wow. My body's tingling. I got a very nice body high. I don't know what they put in this weed these days, but it freaking is scary. I remember smoking weed when I was, 16 years old, maybe a little in my early 20s, very, very little. I don't ever recall. I don't never recall this kind of stuff. I don't know what they put in them scientists. Whatever them scientists put in this shit, it's amazing. I hear that mourning dove. There's another mourning dove that goes over there. I don't know if it's. I know there's two of them because I can hear their wings flapping right here, and they'll come down, and I'll catch a glimpse of them sometimes. There's two of them. One of them stays over there somewhere. The other one stays right here. They was up there whooping on each other the other day up in the tree. I think they was having that. I think they was getting it down, making babies, practicing making babies or something, because they was getting after it. I mean, getting after it. You could hear the wings they were just hitting each other. Couldn't see it, but I could hear the wings. I mean, they were, getting after it. Kind of like when you hearing your parents have sex when you're a kid. Unreal. They was getting down. I was using that as an analogy, by the way, because I couldn't see the birds, because my eyesight, but I can hear. My 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 ears were listening, and they was. I know they wasn't fighting because they wasn't talking. They was just getting down. I don't know what the hell they was doing, but I only assumed being springtime, making babies. Oh yeah, I savored 4 pieces of candy yesterday. I didn't chomp on it until it was paper thin, like one of them Listerine strips that dissolve in your mouth. 4 pieces. I've never done that. That's my personal best. Usually I chomp on it pretty quick. The interest is up and the stock market's down. You only get mud if you go downtown. Tis the season, I reckon. Ooh, I just chomped off a very tiny little sliver. Damn, what the hell? Failed. I'm still going to continue on, savoring it. I mean, I just took a thinner than a Listerine strip. I slivered off with my tooth, chewing on it. That's how it always starts. I know, according to that telephone and some of the things I see on it, sometimes I try to stay off that crap. There is a lot of freaking funk. I mean, there's a lot going on out there. According to that telephone, that's why I enjoy staying right here. I can see everything coming at me, and it's peaceful. Everybody that's traveling the world and stuff, doing whatever it is they do. Who knows? Anyway, I'm enjoying my time. That's all I know. There's a lot happening right here that most people will never ever get to see. I'm not saying from my point of view or that point of view. I'm saying they will never, they won't have as much time in their life as I get to have in mine to enjoy all of this. Because people are just running. They're missing so much. They don't even realize it. Oh well, it ain't for me to tell them. It's not for me to tell them. They have to figure that stuff out on their own. They are missing so much. But if most people can't stop and slow down like this, they'd lose their head. They'd flip out. It takes a lot to get to this point, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. To get to this point, most people can't handle it. I would never try to tell somebody to awake ever. Not if you had to take the journey to that I took to get to this point. I would not advise awake, but I did it. So screw it. I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed it. Looking back, it was a lot of fun. In the moments, oh man, it's so brutal until you outgrow it and can look and learn and just know it's so wild. I love my life to up to this point right here. I wouldn't change a single moment, not a single word, not a single action. And I've made a lot of mistakes to get to this point. Some gut wrenching mistakes. A lot of loss. A lot of loss, physically and financially. And I mean, a lot of loss. But it took a lot of failures. When I used to bench press, I always use weightlifting as an analogy because when I first started, I was 155 pounds and could not bench press 100 pounds. But through a lot of failures, I worked my bench press up to 320 pounds. It took a lot of failures to go. And I was only 185 pounds bench pressing 320, and it took a lot of failures in weightlifting to get to that max bench. I could have even went more, but it was so much pressure on my shoulders. I just quit. I didn't. Hell, I didn't even ever really care to 225. Just I never cared to go over 225 ever again. That's a lot. I mean, and people putting up that big weight, man, that's painful. It's rough on your joints. That's all I know. It was rough on my joints. I mean, my shoulders are good. I do got a little click in my shoulder for some reason. I've been trying to fix my posture here lately because another journey thing I'm on. I'm just always hunched over. I mean, it's just I don't know. But I'm practicing. I'm so mindful. I try to be so mindful of my posture, trying to correct it, get my shoulders rolled back off of that rotator, off that ball, trying to get the shoulder rotated off that ball because inside your shoulder there's that ball and that what's that damn thing called? Rotator cuff must it gets chopped because your shoulder gets on top of it instead of just moving freely. When your shoulders are rolled forward, your shoulder is busting that rotator cuff right there. And really causes some irritation in it. So by fixing your posture, you roll your shoulder up off of that rotator, and that tendon can begin healing itself. But I got some kind of crunch in it. Well, I jacked this shoulder up on a motocross wreck one time, but it healed up. I mean, I tore my rotator cuff muscle up. I didn't have no surgeries. Oh man, it took over a year to heal. Where I couldn't even bench press the bar after that little deal. Then I ended up bench pressing 320 pounds a few years later. Weighing 185 pounds. I was strong little sucker. I throw them hot water tanks around like they were nothing. Whenever we was moving them hot water tanks in and out of areas, I just grab it, throw it out the damn way. Oh yeah, but my shoulders are good. Other than just that little crinkle right there, whatever's going on right there. My knees are, they're about like my shoulders. They're good. Getting up and down is a little harder. It's not as, I mean, I used to just bounce right up off that. When I'd be under a kitchen sink or something, I just bounce up out of there. Shoot, at the end of my career, I was dragging up out of there, using the counter to help get me up. Man, I was very fortunate to get to retire at the age of 47. I plumbed for 28 or 29 years. 13 of them 28 or 29 years, I was in business for 13 of them. I had my dad for all that. For all of that, for the ability, and my grandpa and my great grandpa, because I was fourth generation plumber. Wherever they picked it up, them ancestors, which I didn't know the fifth generation. But I have my dad to thank for everything I have. Although it's not a lot, I'm retired comfortably at the age of 47 because my dad taught me how to survive this world. He had the patience to teach me because I was a little mother sucker boy. I did not want to be no plumber. I did not want to be a plumber. Hell no. I did everything in my powers to. That I was now for 2.5 years. I did not have to be a plumber because I got to. I mean, basically, I mean, even though my zeros were, I played poker, paid for my bills. So you can call that professional or not. I did that for 2.5 years. I thought I was good enough to be, you know, do it, and I was good enough for 2 years. A total of 2.5, but I can't really count that half because I was up anyway. After I went broke twice playing poker for a living, I called my dad back, and I was so angry. When your hopes and dreams fail, oh my gosh, man, you're so angry. And I was a POS, but he had the patience to continue teaching me. Thank you, Dad. Well, I'm able to sit right here with my feet propped up comfortably and not have no financial worries whatsoever in this moment. Not that they can't come. 'Cause shoot, you can have the rug pulled out from under you just like I did, just overnight, basically. I mean, overnight. When you lose your way of making a living, the only way you know how to make a living, rug pull, which I was born with the condition. It got worse there for a few years, and I did everything I could, and the doctors did everything they could to keep it as good as it stayed for another 3 years, and then just happens. Can't work no more. But luckily, in 13 years in business, I didn't blow everything I made. My dad taught me how to survive the world, but when you lose your only way of making any money, good thing I was learning some stuff along the way. I am blowing and going. I was blowing and going and sticking money away. I was making money hand over fist. It was never enough. I had so much money. I didn't even know I had that some of the money I had. I was just piling it up and just blowing and going and having a good time. And that was back when gold was about 1,600, 1,700 an ounce. I was just buying it because I was learning so much. I would study and study. I'd run my business during the day, do my paperwork and all that stuff, and then I would just read and study. Whatever it was, I was working on my dirt bikes, tearing them down, rebuilding them. All that. I was so busy, and I just was learning, and I was putting in 18-hour days, basically every single day for years. I went in business in 2009, and I just started learning everything. I mean, just learning all I could about everything. Then I got off into the stock market. I started learning world economics. I mean, I got so much knowledge, but what I've learned is the more you learn, the less you know. And I know a lot. I mean, I am pretty highly intelligent, I would consider. And that's not ego. I mean, it's just the way it is because I know a lot. I've learned a lot. I see a lot. I can envision a lot. My imagination, like Einstein says, imagination is greater than knowledge, for knowledge is limited. And my imagination is just, I mean, you just can't even understand it. It's vivid. I mean, it's realistic. I mean, I can put myself there. I can feel the emotions while I'm up in there. It's, I'm telling you, it's pretty spectacular when I get in the zone. When I'm flowing, what you call flowing, what artists call flowing. That Georgia Pie's some good weed. Zero paranoia today. That's the third time I've smoked that strain, and this is first time was a little choppy. The second time, paranoia came with all the pretty choppy thoughts. Today, it's just the body high all three times. I got the body high all three times, but today it's just all positive. But that's also my emotions and my mentality in the day. You know, sometimes we all have storms up there. Maybe the second time I smoked that, I was having a, you know, just a one of them days. It was a little stormy. Today, I mean, last 3 days, last 3 times out of the 4 times that I've smoked in the last week and a half, I've only smoked or a week, I guess. I've smoked 4 times in a week. 3 of them's been pretty cool. One of them was just a little bit of paranoia for a little while. And some wild thoughts. Today I'm focused. I'm speaking very well. My mind is keeping up with my words. My words is keeping up with my mind. So that's pretty cool. And I'm stoned to the bone. I am freaking high. I am there. I'm not tapped into the Akashi records though. I guess because I'm blowing too much smoke. I'm sitting there talk, just blowing smoke. Guess I reckon I needed to talk today. I don't know. All right. I savored this spearmint down to about the thinness of one of them Listerine strips. I'm about to chew on it. Hey, Sarah. And I actually just started my second retirement as well. I am a proud company owner, and they pay me to own it. That's what's even cool. I ain't gotta operate it. I just gotta, I just that's what's cool. That's what I've also learned. That's my new style. I've already made all the fast money, lost all the fast money. I've already lived all that, so now we're gonna roll a different style. I can tell you a million ways. Maybe not a million. I can tell you a whole lot of ways how not to make $1 million. But we're gonna roll this new route, see if we can't add a couple of zeros to our bank account. We're gonna start playing the long game. I done played the short game. I done played the short game for 50 years. So starting now, we're turning it into the long game because I am in the fall of my life, y'all. I don't want to be at this level for the rest of my life, so it's time to start our second retirement. I'm doing that by purchasing companies that only aren't going to increase growth that I feel like they're on sale, and that not only am I going to gain growth out of this company, they're going to pay me to own it quarterly. So I plan on I'll have me a few companies pay by here. Too much money. Purchased one last Monday, I think, or last Monday. What is today? No, today's last week because today's on Tuesday. Oh, I'm stoned. I purchased the company last week, so it's going to start paying me quarterly to own it. Plus, I think it has a huge potential. Not only I only purchase companies that I know is going to be there in 30 years. ain't buying. I've done played the short fast game where them stocks are jumping 1,000%. You know, from 8 to 8:30, then they drop 1,000%. The gambling side of it, so much fun, the dopamine you get, and that freaking, you're sitting there, you're all good because that sucker's pumping, pumping, and then they rug pull that gosh damn thing, and then your feelings just go from the feeling of a winning trade to fucking gut wrenching. Oh, pow! Oh, it's brutal. I mean, brutal. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's so brutal. It don't matter if you set a stop loss or not. You done rug pulls. I mean, you're lucky. Whatever you get out of that. I remember one time, one morning. This is when I was in business because I couldn't have played the way I was playing. But I was in huge. I was in huge because it was a $20,000 loss, and it was just open. The market's just opened, and I was in this trade, and I mean, it was huge. I lost $20,000 on this trade. I was up huge, and my my business phone rang, and I answered it, and whatever communication was going on there, whatever was happening, and I looked back at my screen, and the damn thing rug pulled on me, and my gut just dropped. I'm on the phone with this customer, and he said, "That didn't feel good, did you? Did it?" And I mean, it was just like in perfect freaking timing, like I was in a simulation. It was freaking hilarious. I mean, and my gut wrench. I mean, it went from that to him telling me that, and then me re-observing that same feeling because he told me that. He's like, "That didn't feel good. In perfect timing." And this was whenever I was coming into some awareness, trying to, I was beginning to awaken, I guess, and just be aware. I was just in awareness. And when he told me that, I went back into myself and was observing, observing them thoughts and connecting. I mean, it was like in perfect sync. Like it was, I don't know, but I recall it so vividly. That didn't feel good, did it? Then I went back because it was a gut wrench, and you're on the phone and you got to hold your poker face because that's another thing I used to do. I mean, I've had some gut wrenching moments in poker too. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Back to the simulation. That's why I think that, I mean, I know I'm in a simulation because there's so many, just like that moment I just talked about where the guy said that didn't feel good, just as it was sinking, I took my eyes off the screen just to grab my phone just for a second. I didn't have no stop loss set or nothing, and they rug pulled that damn thing. That was that is my third biggest loss ever in the stock market. They rug pulled that damn thing, boy. Woo, boy. I mean, it was doing good too. You had that winning feeling. That's why I wasn't worried about answering the phone. Otherwise, I'd just let side bump it and continue playing. And I was up good, and I didn't even worry about that. Let my hand on my business for a minute, just talking to him. And I looked back, and I had that gut wrench feeling. And he said, "That didn't feel good, did it?" Oh man, it was like my operator on the other end. Like in the Matrix, where Tank is talking stuff on the phone. It was like that was my operator, having the moment with me. It was pretty wild. But I've had so much of my life has been circumstances like that and beyond. And that's why I began researching everything I was researching, learning what I was learning, so that I could have some knowledge and have some puzzle pieces. And I've just kind of I made it. It's came to the simulation. I live in a simulation, 100% guaranteed. I've wagered my life on it. Hello. 21, 21. But there's so much more than just us, than me being in a simulation. I mean, I've learned so much. I don't know. There's just so much. I don't know all the answers, but I can put together a whole lot of different scenarios with the puzzle pieces I've gathered. It is so wild. Oh, it's hilarious. The commentator within me reminded me of something that was funny. And the observer just observed the commentator. That's what is so different about me is I'm able to observe, and I'm just the observer of this meat suit. I'm just whoever this meat suit. I'm just the observer of it. I'm not even these words coming out. I'm just observing the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm not this entity. I'm not the words this entity is speaking. I am just observing this entity. And there's a commentator sometimes within this meat suit that I observe. Anyway, it's crazy. Since I just spoke that last word, there's been no thoughts in my head. I've just been like, just chill, focused on the sounds, and was wondering if that was the same vehicle that passed by. I mean, I can't see. I can't see. It kind of looks similar and it sounds similar. If I could just see the logos, I would know, but I just can't. So I just assume allow my imagination to run scenarios. But I've gotten to where I don't do that anymore. That's what I'm trying to say is I'm definitely leveling up because where I would run a scenario of what that person was doing and whatever, I don't. I've learned to just allow that thought just to float by like a cloud. Observe, just don't even just observe the thought. Just don't interact with the thought. And I was almost fitting to run a scenario because I was like, "Is that the same vehicle?" Then I quit entertaining that thought. So I'm definitely leveling up, staying present, focused more. That's what I've been working on for the last however many months, several months. Just staying present in the moment, trying not to run scenarios like that. Just allowing to not even interact with that thought. Just allow that thought to dwindle away. Because just as fast as it came up, if you don't entertain the thought, it'll just float away like a cloud. I mean, that's what it seems it does for me. So I'm learning to stay present and focused, and that's helped me with my focus because I can stay focused on a like on a very serious thought, you know, that I may have. I can stay focused in that moment longer than before. So I've noticed that by practicing staying in the moment, it's sharpening my focus as well. My focus is being sharpened in somehow, some way to this entire process. I don't know, but it's pretty amazing, especially when you can notice the change. When you're that in tune with yourself, when you can notice your mentality just each and every day just getting a little bit better. I've been in that in tune with my body. And I've been in tune with my body for a long time. It's just now it's truly sharpening. I've been in tune, but it is definitely sharpening. I, ever since I've learned the analogy of the oh man, bamboo stick, I always like to use that as an analogy how my life seems to be going here just recently. You know, a bamboo plant or whatever it is, tree, will do a root system underneath for, I mean, it may take years to develop its root system before that thing ever sprouts. And they're like looking at it out there for years and it ain't done nothing. And all of a sudden, you wake up one morning and you got a bamboo stick 90 feet tall. It's, you know, it's, I've been doing all my root developing over the past, I guess my entire lifetime. I don't know, but truly, I mean, I've got it all video, so I know I can go back to 2012, but I know I started way before 2012 developing what I'm becoming. And I have documented it, just like I'm documenting this right here, making videos on my entire journey that's got me to this point, and all the battles that I've been through, and the deprogramming that I've put myself through. No help from nobody. I mean, no. I mean, it took everybody that I ever anyway. I've done it myself, but it wasn't without the help of all the interactions I've had in the world. I'll put it that way. And maybe even yeah, even then, because you can't see 5G waves, so yeah, even them frequencies that's connected, I've connected with. I mean, it took every interaction, even with the frequencies that we can't see, to get me to this level. I don't even know what I'm fixing to talk about now, because I was in that frequency was that's amazing. Hmm. There are other realities just right here within us, right here. I mean, just right here. Kind of like how the Wi-Fi signal works. You know, the wavelength, the frequency of that Wi-Fi is there, but our human eye just can't see it. Same way with other realities, the frequencies are. I mean, they're right here amongst us. And if you're not on that frequency, you can't. Kind of like changing the radio station. You know, if you there's so many, same thing. But there's other realities right here. If you just tune into that frequency, you could actually get into there anyway. There's so much. There's so many possibilities and capabilities, especially with some of my life experiences that I know is just not anyway. There's so much, and the possibilities that I can imagine and dream of are capable, because anything you can imagine is possible. Everything that is already has been. Everything that is not already is. We just haven't unlocked it yet. And I always like to use the analogy of a loaf of bread. The entirety of the universe, the entirety of all time, everything is already, everything that's gonna be in 100 billion years from now already is as one loaf of bread. It's just eternity is a very long time, and with the technology this far advanced, there's going to be so much we can do, kind of like what we're doing right here. I'm not this meat suit. My consciousness, my being, your orbital light, whatever you want to call it, your soul, is implanted in this meat suit, and we're just eternity is a long time, and doing the I don't know how to, you know playing different characters, you know it's so enormous. I mean, and eternity is a very long time, and you're gonna want to have other experiences. This is kind of like a vacation, like Fantasy Island, you know, and we're on vacation. This is a vacation. I mean, that's all I. I don't know how to explain. I just ain't smart enough. But you get the gist of it. If you can't, I don't know what to tell you because I just don't know how to explain it. Because there's so much. I mean, eternity is a long time. Technology is much further advanced than we know it today, than the majority know it today. Even more advanced than the governments know or understand. And whatever's running the governments, what the Dracos, whoever, the Anunnaki, whoever it is that is above them, it's going to be much further advanced than them. Technology is so far advanced. We're just here on vacation. I mean, I am. I don't know about y'all, but I am. Eternity's a long time. I'm on vacation. Flies are doing their job. Pestering. They are pestering. Flying all in my face, on my arms. Little pestering suckers, aren't they? I was off in some good scenarios. That fly was cracking. I was off in it, living it. Get down on it. Get down on it. I had to stir them beans. Brand new fresh pot of beans on the crock pot. Ooh, I smell them. Oh, here's the flies already back. It didn't take them long to come on over. I think I'm gonna top off the tank. Let me get back to that point right here. I'm gonna finish this little goober. Finish this little thing off. Top off the old whatever it is, THC level. Old Georgia pie right here. Stuff is all right. I like this Georgia pie. Next time I can't use the coffee grinder on it though. It made it powdery. It's hard to smoke. I stuck a rod through the center of it to give it some airflow, and after I rolled the joint, I pulled the rod out, hoping to give it some airflow. I won't use the coffee grinder no more to grind that marijuana. That's the first time I ever tried it. It worked great. Too great. I hear that morning dove over there.